Everything here. 15-second EICMA board goes up then for the final time in 2026 for this Italian International Championship. Presented by EICMA. 5-second board, turns. Kaz Volk there, gate number 2. Woolvort, gate 3. Lata, gate 4. This time, everybody through. Lata on the back wheel. Zanots gets parked to the inside. So too does Smulders, and there's carnage through the turn as well. The middle of the turn. But look at that again, just as he did in race 1. Jacobs Kubalins pulling off the EICMA hole shot. But how many riders? Just 2 riders picking themselves up. Looks like it might be Fueri on the beta that's parked there in that turn in the red, white and blue. Valerio Lata second. Woolvort there in 3rd place. Looks like it might be Volk in 4th. Let's have a look. Yes, it is. And then Zanchi also in 5th. So 3 of those guys who went down over the gate in race 1, occupying 3 of the first 5 positions. It was Alexi Fueri that goes down there, 7:17, just trying to clean himself up as he looks to rejoin. Looks like he's banged his forearm there as well. But Jacobs Kubalins, 3rd in race 1, leading the way here in race 2. Woolvort there in 3, and a rider facing the wrong way there as well. Who was that? In the opposite direction, coming out of that left turn before they head down towards those waves. So here's how the carnage unfolded. Middle of the pack around about now. And then a few riders getting caught there. Rossi, one of those as well, on the 28. Just runs into the back of that, look. Zanots recovered well after getting caught on the bank, look, over on the far side. So Zanots will get them over the line. In a moment, but Kubalins, 7:24. Lata looking for a sneaky look up the inside. Well, we did say, didn't he? Hopefully he gets a good start and shows us why he was the fastest rider in time practice. Because he was. Where is Langenfelder? That's the big question, because your winner from race 1, nowhere to be seen inside the top 5 or 6 at the minute. Let's get him over the line, though. Kubalins, Lata, that's those 2. Jens Woolvort, Kaz Volk 4th, Zanchi 5, Langenfelder in 6th. So he's got some work to do, and he won't want to give an advantage to Valerio Lata. He even told me himself after the time practice session he was surprised at how fast Lata was. So Lata, another year older, another year wiser, another year with the team, familiarity with the bike, feeling a lot more confident, knows what to expect as well after a year in MX2. He will come in thinking, you know what? Got my first podium in Australia at the final round, 3rd overall. Knows his place in the class. And he'll feel that he could be a challenger this year, absolutely. Just needs to get a good couple of races under his belt, though, but he also needs to not be too aggressive around here, because this circuit will, I tell you what, Joe gets everywhere, doesn't he? That cameraman. But he just needs to be able to ride the track, respect the track, because if you do race it too hard, it will come back and bite you. But try telling that to Lata and Jens Woolvort as they fight over 2nd and 3rd. Kubalins continues to lead the way. Kaz Volk closing in, inch by inch. Kubalins sees a flash of red to his outside. Lata knows he can't afford to let Jens Woolvort through either, and Volk just looking there, he's got the best seat in the house at the minute. Playing perfectly into the hands of your race leader at the minute, though. This is, isn't it, Kubalins, as these 2 trip each other up. Playing into the hands of Kaz Volk as well, because if they do trip each other up, it'll take that invisible backpack off and pull out that invisible dustpan and brush and sweep up the pieces. Right, couple of laps complete. 2:03.5 for your race leader. 2:03.3 for Langenfelder in 5th. Goes even quicker. He's found his way past Ferruccio Zanchi. Oh, folds the front, does the Latvian. Tell you what, it's a good job he's got long legs. And good upper body strength as well, because anybody else would have folded like a cheap suit in that turn. Lata dancing around on that Honda, just looking for every bit of racetrack he can find. Alongside Kubalins, Valerio Lata gets past the Latvian, takes over the lead on lap 3. So Lata, clear track ahead of him. Wolvort looking to go with the Italian as well. Has he found a way through? Not quite. Kubalins still hanging on to that second place. Wolvort looking to go the long way around through the soup berm. Very deep. Here's Langenfelder. Langenfelder just off the back of Kaz Volk in yellow, looking to find his way through, and does go past the Dutchman. Look at Langenfelder and Volk. Volk coming back for a little bit more. But Lata is who leads the way. Kubalins still there in that second place. Langenfelder now up to 4th. Volk in 5th. Langenfelder going after Jens Wolfort. So sandwiched between a couple of Dutch riders. Simon Langenfelder. Still, to say that he didn't turn a single lap, apart from his sighting lap, Jens Wolfort, sitting there, and that's 3rd place at the minute. Still pretty decent. Obviously more comfortable with these sandy surroundings than probably anywhere else. Hard pack, for instance. Oh, a little bit loose there, though, as he came out of the turn. Lata setting the fastest lap of the race so far, 2:03.214. Kubalins that time around was a 2:05.8, Wolvort 2:05.07, Langenfelder 2:03.4, so only a couple tenths off, and he sat in traffic, and Kubalins sits himself down on the deck, folds the front coming out of the turn, and that's a shame because the Latvian was really pushing and looking like a good, I mean, he could still possibly get a podium, but he's now put himself under a bit more pressure. So Kubalins out of second. Wolvort goes through to second, Langenfelder third, Volk fourth, maybe Ferruccio Zanchi went through, who knows. But Langenfelder not looking like he's hanging around here now, just trying to show a wheel here or there to the Dutch rider, as he looks to go after that second position now, because Kubalins going out of second, Wolvort getting promoted on the 489. But I tell you what, Simon Langenfelder just sits back, doesn't he, and all of a sudden finds something, and then next minute is breathing down everybody's neck from out of nowhere. Having to work hard there, though, as he comes out of that final turn and turn 1. 2 separated by the start straight, of course. Right, looking like he's going to regroup here. He's just sat back, pulled a tear off, said, right, let's go again in a minute. Give some breathing space. Still got 15 minutes, 16 minutes. To go. So Langenfelder, Red Bull KTM Factory Racing, bossing his machine around. Man down, smoking like a chimney there. But Valerio Lata, 6.3 seconds clear at the moment. Got his head down. 7 seconds clear of Langenfelder. So if Langenfelder is to win this race and go 1-1, first of all, is he bothered? second of all, he's going to have to dig deep if he is to go after Valerio Lata, to not give him kind of any impetus going into any races going forward from here. Valerio Lata, though, hasn't looked round, has he? Barely. Just getting his head down, cracking on, knows he can't win the overall because of that result in race one that saw him 16th. And here comes Langenfelder once more. Look, closing back in on Jens Wolvort. Lata was a 2:01.062 last time around. Wolvort and Langenfelder 2:04s. Lata goes through in a 2:02.8 this time around. Keep an eye on Langenfelder's time because he's closed in on Wolvort, who goes through in a 2:04.7. Langenfelder 2:04.9. Volk 2:03.5. So still some work to do then for Langenfelder, who's more than 9 seconds down on Valerio Lata. Kubalins goes through in 6th place. So we'll start working out the podium soon then.
Marco, sono con il team manager HRC, Marcus Freitas. Marcus, a pretty tough race for Valerio, the first one, but the second one is going really bad.
Yeah, that's a shame for the start on Valerio. So I actually have a good jump for the gate, but I've been just in the middle of 2 riders, so that is like, unfortunately, is race accident. And during the race, I think he just like slide 2 times more, but obviously race 2 is just proving that it's good on the pace. So just take that race as a beginning of the season and try to build some strengths for the race and the season. So, but yeah, we're happy with that.
Have you tell Valerio to treat this race more like a training race, or just when the gate drops, full focus?
Well, we always mention to the riders the pre-season races just to see where we're at, you know, try to have all the feedbacks, you know, for the bikes, for the riders. But obviously, when the riders put their helmets on, it's difficult to manage that.
Okay, thank you. Marcos dice che comunque all'inizio della prima manche purtroppo c'è stato un contatto tra Valerio e altri 2 piloti che l'ha fatto retrocedere, gli ha fatto fare una manche veramente tutta in salita, ma dice che comunque è buono per i dati. La seconda domanda, gli ho chiesto se ha detto a Valerio di trattare questa gara più come una gara d'allenamento invece che una gara vera. Ha detto che alla fine, quando i piloti mettono il casco e il cancello cade, danno tutto sempre. Questo è buono anche per raccogliere dati per il mondiale. A te, Marco.
Just judging by the way Jens Wolvort is going around some of those corners, looks like he's just overheating. Not saying he's heavy on the clutch or anything like that, but he's certainly getting a little bit of heat down below. We have to either ease off if that's the case, or whatever it was in race 1, did they get time to fix properly? Who knows? But 12 minutes plus 2 laps still remain in this race, and Valerio Lata leading the way. He's more than 10 seconds clear of Jens Wolvort at the moment. And Lata picking up the front end. Just a moment ago in that bottom end of the circuit. So here's your race leader, Valerio Lata. A couple of corners away from completing. The lap here goes up the first horseshoe. Wolvort still there in the 2nd position. 3rd is still Langenfelder. 4th, Volk. 5th, Ferruccio Zanchi. Kubalins 6, Mantovani 7, Zanots 8, Smulders 9, and Vincenzo Bove in 10th place. Max Erniker 11, Jakob Pekalai is 12, or Jackass. Casimir Henderson 13th, Niccolo Manini, Ivana van Erp, who didn't score in race 1, he's 15th, Brando Rispoli, Richard Part, Marc-Antoine Rossi, who obviously came to a stop briefly in turn 1 when Alexi Fueri went down, and 1 or 2 others. So he is on the move. Or he was a moment ago. Anyway, Lata over the line, 7 laps complete. His lap time at 2:04.5. We wait for Wolvort. Langenfelder now through into 2nd place. Wolvort does go through in third, and Langenfelder quicker by about a second over Valerio Lata. 2:04.5, 2:03.6, gap down to just over 10 seconds, 10.039. Well, you know what? 10 minutes to go, plus 2 laps. That's going to be another 14 minutes in this race. Does Langenfelder have a couple of laps of pace just to put pressure on Valerio Lata here or not? Or is he just happy to sit there and go 2-1? Last week he went 3-2. He'll take the overall even with a 2-1 anyway. And that is, you know, it's got to be the focus. Just go out there, ride your laps, do your pace and everything else. Come away with a win. Perfect. Another building block to get off to a good start in 2026. Valerio Lata, meanwhile, his first competitive ride in 2026. Not the best start in the first race with what happened to him and a couple of other riders. But to come back, bounce back with a race win, that will do him and the team a whole world of confidence. Of course it will. Bedini, Ducati, number 73, Ferruccio Zanchi. He is in 5th place. He just set his best lap of the race last time around, 2:03.431. Stood trackside this morning when the MX2 riders were out on track. Those Ducatis are very, very quiet. A couple of puffs of smoke there, though. 9 minutes to go, plus 2 laps in this final MX2 race of this Italian International Championship presented by EICMA. I'm sure they will have spotters out on the track with their headphones talking back to those in pit lane, because I don't think they've got monitors down there like we do in MXGP. And Ferruccio Zanchi, 2nd and a 6th for 3rd overall last time out in Sardinia. Hopefully he can just bring this home. Where's his teammate, Mancini? Down in 21st place at the minute. But that's how it finished. Langenfelder, Kubalins and Volk. Kubalins is on course for a podium still. 2nd overall. So a 3rd and a 6th place finish for him. If he stays where he is. Mantovani has yet to come over the line. Kubalins has completed 8 laps. That'd be nice work, wouldn't it? For Jacobs Kubalins, if he can get there, come away with the podium.
Sì, Marco, perché ho qui Antonio Cairoli, sicuramente non ha bisogno di presentazioni di Ducati. Tony, is Ferruccio okay after the start of the first moto?
Yeah, he's okay. A little beaten up, of course, from the heavy crash. But I mean, he's okay. So we are happy with that, and he's doing a great second moto. And so we are collecting still a lot of data with the bike, and that's why we are here, of course. But also for make it the best of it, you know, for our riders also. So let's see what they can do.
Tony, you raced a lot of Internazionali Italia. How it is to race with that public on the green spot?
No, I like this track a lot, especially I think these conditions today are really nice. Preparing for GPs is perfect, and I think it's one of the best Mantova I've ever seen from the last years. So we are, I mean, a bit not happy that I'm not on track for sure today, because I really enjoy this kind of conditions, but it's nice for the guys to prepare, yeah.
Ok, thank you Antonio. Antonio dice che Ferruccio sta bene, naturalmente è un pochino dolorante dopo la caduta durante la prima manche, ma adesso sta facendo veramente una buona seconda manche, e dopo averlo stuzzicato un po' e avergli chiesto se è bello correre questi Internazionali d'Italia, lui che ne ha corsi tanti, dice che con questo pubblico dice che ha visto questa pista in tante condizioni. Questa probabilmente è la migliore Mantova degli ultimi anni, ed è un po' così, ci è rimasto un po' così perché comunque non può correre. A te Marco.
Langenfelder, Smulders, Volk, that's how the overall championship will finish. Zanchi 4th, but looking to close in on Kaz Volk. Those two fighting over 3rd in the championship and also 4th in the race, as Langenfelder is getting closer to Valerio Lata. So he is trying to go after a win. Lata will see that every time he goes through a turn and has his little marker. Lata, Langenfelder, Volk and Zanchi, they were less than a second apart a moment ago. Here they are, bottom of your screen. Volk in yellow, Zanchi just behind him. These two, 4th and 5th place. Zanchi looking to try and get 3rd overall. Again, look, should the Ducati boys be a little bit concerned with the amount of puff coming out of the rear pipe there? Volk trying to get after Wolvort here. Looks to get around the outside. Finds his way past Jens Wolvort. Wolvort fighting back though in that 3rd place. So 3rd, 4th, 5th, all here, right there on the same bit of track. As Simon Langenfelder doing his best to chip away at the advantage of Valerio Lata. Heavy conditions for the motorcycles here today. But Ferruccio Zanchi, sure the team have done the math and said, you know what, let's just try and get a podium in this championship. And he's got alongside Volk. Volk will try to cut back to the inside. He does. Briefly off the podium in the championship chase. Back on it again with that cut back to the inside on Zanchi. Langenfelder got the gap down to 5.5 seconds now. 2:05.6, 2:05.0 for Lata and Langenfelder respectively. Good training as well for the mine for Langenfelder. Yeah, you can sit there and just say, all right, just take the 2nd place finish, but up the pace when you need to, because there's plenty of times in a race that you're going to have to do that as well, especially if you're chasing an overall or a championship. So Simon Langenfelder, has he left it too late though? Less than 4 minutes plus 2 laps to go. Lap times are 2 minutes though. 2:05 last time around. Just needs traffic to be kind as he works his way through. He will also have his markers. In fact, that was Lata just around on the track about this point as he was going into the corner. Langenfelder. Looking solid, looking sturdy is the number 27. Here's Lata. Langenfelder not too far behind. I don't think that's a 5.5 second advantage at the moment. And Lata, if he is even thinking of looking, he will see that Red Bull KTM getting closer and closer. Every straight, every turn, every lap, and little mistakes just like that at the top of the hill won't help his cause either, but so far so good for Valerio Lata. Can he keep it out there for another 2.5 minutes plus 2 laps and get his first win of 2026, first race win that is. Bringing the lap times this time around. Langenfelder, Kubalins, they're going to be the top 2 on the podium. Who's going to be 3rd overall? Volk and Smulders both tied on 34 points at the moment. Lata is going to be on 30, 5th overall. He goes through a 2:06.07. Langenfelder 2:04.2, gap down to 3.7 seconds. So all of a sudden we are going to get a bit of a showdown. 4 laps to go. Volk in 5th place, Kubalins in 6th. Those two, and Zanchi still fighting. There's the 12 of Luca Rosati in yellow, not helping Valerio Lata too much. But hopefully he looks up now and sees the 18 there, and anytime he hears another bike behind him, got to assume it's one of the leaders coming through, especially when you sat there in 25th place and no one around you. Good ride this, good promising ride for Valerio Lata. Here's Langenfelder down the inside of the back marker. Did it cost him any time though? That is the question. Langenfelder will look up as he hits this jump. He'll see that image right there of Valerio Lata climbing the hill into that 180 left, which is where he is now. And Lata getting parked to the inside by a back marker here. It's going to cost him some time. Francesco Bossi, the rider holding him up. And look, in the blink of an eye, Simon Langenfelder right there from out of nowhere, once again, drops it to the inside. Next man in his line of sight literally is the race leader now. Impressive performances from Simon Langenfelder. A mistake there from Lata, who looks under pressure, had a nervous look over the shoulder, and right away, Langenfelder is ready to pounce. 3 laps to go. And a quick look at the lap times, 2:07.6, 2:04.6, 3 seconds quicker for Langenfelder over Lata. Dad looking on there with beanie. Ferruccio Zanchi is up to 3rd, Volk 4th. Wolvort 5th, so Zanchi and Volk both going past Jens Wolvort. Langenfelder, Kubalins, Volk is your podium as it stands right now. Smulders on 34, Zanchi next. Lata and Langenfelder, traffic ahead of them. Is Langenfelder going to sweep in from the left-hand side? He gets good drive through those waves. Lata knew he was there. Look, he's got his radar on, closes him down on the face of the jump. Had a sneaky look to the right-hand side. Now he's got his radar on as they hit this turn. Gets squeezed to the inside, and Langenfelder goes by, looks across, shows him a rear wheel, takes over the lead. Lata will look to respond in the next turn at the top of the hill. Oh, he's going to have to be brave to go through there. Speedway style at 45 degrees on the embankment. And Lata fighting back. Langenfelder, shortest route through the turn, gains a few bike lengths. 2-lap board getting ready to go out this time around. All of a sudden, Lata has gone, you know what? To come that close to winning, he still believes he can win. And he's going to take the challenge right to the end of the race here. He's got Langenfelder right there. Now we'll be able to see exactly where he was quick and where he wasn't. 2 to go. And Langenfelder looking across it. Haven't you gone anywhere yet? I thought I'd just broken you. 1.3 the gap. And Lata, every time he tries to up his own pace. Oh, Zanchi tips over, and that's going to hand the podium. Oh, I'll tell you what, he's gone down. I think he's wearing an air body armor. Either that or he's just bulked up in the last couple of corners. One of those Alpine Star Tech Airs, look like. Just going. Pfft. Anyway, here's Langenfelder. He was building his pace. And he caught Valerio Lata off guard. And, of course, when you're sitting there at this pace and you've got to try and find another 3 seconds a lap, not easy. But Langenfelder also knows he can't switch off here the next lap and a half. Because if he does, Lata will be right there, exactly, to pounce. Decent ride, this, from Langers. There's Lata, there's Valerio Lata heading uphill as he enters the turn. Langenfelder just on the exit. Bonatti there, just needing to stay out of the way. Morgan Bonatti, he is in 18th place. Two solid rides, though, for Valerio Lata in the greater scheme of things. Picked himself up after that start crash, got into contention, and then eventually came home in 16th place after another fall that stuck him on the deck again, down to about 23rd or 4th position. 1 to go for Simon Langenfelder and Valerio Lata. Lata a little untidy through that final turn, it looked like. And the gap now, 2.1 seconds between the Red Bull KTM and the Honda HRC rider. That's your championship. Langenfelder, Smulders and Volk. Zanchi was on that third step of the podium in the championship for Ducati, but that mistake that he made that has dropped him to 4th, I want to say. Still waiting for him to come through because Volker's gone through in third. Just keeping an eye on the screen here. Yeah, Zanchi does go through in fourth. It's going to leave him off the championship podium, fourth overall. Simon Langenfelder didn't get flustered, did he, with his 6th or 7th place start. Bided his time, picked his way through methodically, and all of a sudden, when he needed to, just found another 2 or 3 seconds in the blink of an eye and just went, right, take that, everybody. Lata made him work for it, though. Have to say that. Tried to push on and build up a gap because he knew that that's what he would have to do to keep Langenfelder and everybody else at bay. But Langenfelder just too good today. So Langenfelder, Volk, Kubalins, your top 3 overall on the day. Langenfelder with 50, Volk, wow, look at that, Volk, Kubalins, Smulders all on 36. Where is Smulders in the race? He's only about a second behind Noel Zanot, so it's not over yet. Flag goes out to Simon Langenfelder. He goes 1-1 here. He wraps up this Internazionali d'Italia Motocross Championship presented by EICMA. And does it in fine style. Valerio Lata across the line in second. We wait for Volk to come through, and Zanchi and Kubalins. Just need to wait and see whether it's Zanots and Smulders, which order they're in, 6th or 7th, when they hit the line. Volk goes through in third. We then have to wait a while for Ferruccio Zanchi to come through. And it will be a wait as well. But all smiles there. Simon Langenfelder, Valentina also. Valentina Ragni, team coordinator there. It's like, come on, get out of there. Let's get you cleaned up, get you a shirt on and wash some of that muck off your face. Make you a bit more camera ready. Valerio Lata. Good ride, but he looks disappointed, doesn't he? Anyway, Zanchi, Kubalins, Zanots, Smulders. That's how they cross the line. Mantovani 8th, and it will be Langenfelder, Volk, Kubalins in the overall classification. Stefan Simpson there, just behind Valentina Ragni. The confirmation then. Simon Langenfelder, campione. Marc-Antoine Rossi on the final lap puts his best lap time in 2:08.556. Remember, he got parked at turn 1, comes home in 11th. Casimir Henderson, Brando Rispoli, Simone Mancini, Ronnie Van Erp, and it'll be Jacka Pekalai. Jens Wolvort's final lap or 2. Not the result he wanted, but we saw it just starting to steam up, didn't we, a few minutes out, maybe around about the halfway mark. But his pace was good, his riding was good, so if you're going to take a positive out of it, then take that out of it, for sure. But Simon Langenfelder wins race 2 then comfortably in the end over Valerio Lata, Kaz Volk, Ferruccio Zanchi, Jakobs Kubalins, and we had Zanot, Smulders, Mantovani, Max Ernica, Vincenzo Bove. Then Rossi, Henderson, Rispoli, Mancini, Ivana Van Erp, Jacka Pekalai, Morgan Bernardi, Richard Park, Cesar Payne Diaz, and Paolo Martorano.